Pokemon X and Y are some of my favorite Pokemon games out there, so today I decided I wanted to attempt a Pokemon Y hardcore Nuzlocke using only poison types. The rules I'm going to use for this run are going to be on screen now, so you can pause if you need to read them, and with that being said, let's talk about the poison types I'll have access to in this run. Pokemon Y has a remarkable 21 poison types that I have access to. Some of these encounters are absolutely useless, as I won't be needing 21 Pokemon in this run. Either way, I'll have access to Drapion, Roserade, Beedrill, and a ton of other cool Pokemon that I'll be able to use throughout the entire game. With that being said though, I've got to start the game, so I name myself Zango and I make my way into the Kalos region. Not even 5 seconds into my new region experience, I get rudely awakened by some dumbass fledgling and I have to go meet my neighbors. Because I'm an absolute ladies man, I decide to play the only card I can and I don't say a single word to Shauna and Serena as I go catch my first Pokemon. I name Weedle Cheerio and I find out she's got a terrible nature. It's attack down and defense up, and since attack is basically the only thing that's going to win me this first gym battle, I've got to EV train right away. Once Weedle's caught, me and the gang head onto Route 3 together and I make my way into the next city. Once in the next city, I start my grind for the first gym, so I evolve Weedle into Metapod and Metapod into Beedrill. With Beedrill on my team, I finish the rest of my EV training with Super Training, and I challenge the first gym. Viola leads with Surskit, so immediately I get hit with a Quick Attack as I go for a Fury Attack. Fury Attack doesn't do an insane amount of damage, but on the next turn, I'm able to go for another Fury Attack, taking down Surskit. Once Surskit goes down, I get enough XP to level up to 13, and at this point, I learn Focus Energy. Once I do this, Vivillon comes in and hits me with a Tackle as I go for a String Shot just so I'm faster. Now that I'm faster, I set up a Focus Energy as Vivillon goes for a Harden. Eventually, I bring Vivillon down to 1 HP with Fury Attack and she heals. This is more of a pain than anything, as eventually Vivillon brings me down to 5 HP with an Infestation, and thankfully I'm able to finish her off with a Fury Attack as that wins me my first gym badge. With the first gym badge under my belt, I make my way to the next route and I end up catching a Pokemon. The Pokemon I catch is a Badoo that I named Trix, and right after I do that, I go to Lumio City and I head to the Professor. After he's defeated in a battle, he offers me one of the Kanto starters, and of course I gotta pick Bulbasaur. After I receive Bulbasaur, I name him Chex, and I find out he's got a pretty bad nature, which is special defense down and speed up. This really isn't great, as Chex doesn't need speed whatsoever. Either way, after this, I gotta go do some story. From here, I meet Lysander and his horrible hair, and I also meet Corinna and her weird Lucarios. Like seriously, why is she sniffing me? Either way, while I'm on this route, I end up catching a Pokemon being Gulpin and absolutely useless. There's a lot more Pokemon I end up catching on the way to the second gym, so I'm gonna go over them really quickly. I catch a Zubat, Croagunk, and a Venipede. I name Venipede Loops, I name Zubat Crunch, and I name Croagunk Charms. With that out of the way, I throw a little bit of my money at the Pokemon Mansion Gatekeeper, and I watch some fireworks with Shauna. There's a lot more story from here that really doesn't matter. The only important piece of information is that I met Team Flare, but that's really not that important, so I just make my way to the second gym city, and I get ready to fight the second gym. This gym battle ends up being one of the quickest I've ever fought in my life. Grant leads with Amora as I lead with Charms. Amora hits me with a Rock Tomb, but since I'm EV trained in attack, I'm easily able to one-shot with a single Revenge. Tyrant comes out next, and since I'm EV trained, once again, I'm able to one-shot with a Revenge, and that wins me my gym badge in about 30 seconds. After I head on to the next route, I'm able to catch my next Pokemon, this one being Nidorino. Nidorino gets the nickname Flakes, and I find out I have an adamant nature, which is actually pretty solid. From there, I'm able to make my way into Glittering Cave, and once I make my way through Glittering Cave, I find myself in Shallower City, where I'm able to have my first real rival battle. Serena leads the battle with Meowstic, as I lead with Crunch. I get hit with a Fake Out right away, but since that doesn't really matter because I have Inner Focus, I'm able to finish off Meowstic with a single bite. Next out is Braixen, who goes down to 2 Wing Attacks, and after that comes Absol, who goes down to 3 Leech Lives, and that wins me my battle against Serena. That battle could have definitely gone very south if I got crit. Thankfully, I didn't, as after this, I make my way to the third gym, EV train all my Pokemon, bring them all up to the level cap, and challenge Corinna. She leads the battle with Menfu, as I lead with Crunch. Right away, I go for a Wing Attack that one-shots Menfu in the process, as next out comes Machoke. Machoke is also one-shotted by a critical hit Wing Attack, and with that, I learn the move Acrobatics, and when Hawlucha comes out, I use that one-shotting in the process, as that wins me my third gym badge. Corinna, after being absolutely embarrassed in her own gym, decides to battle me once more, this time with her Lucarios. Corinna gets beat by her own team, and once this happens, I make my way towards the fourth gym. Once I'm in the city with the fourth gym, I have another rival battle, but since it went pretty much the same as last time, I'm not even going to go over it. After the rival battle, I head into the fourth gym, and I get ready to challenge my fourth gym leader. Ramos leads with Jumpluff, as I lead with Crunch. Crunch is super powerful, so I'm able to one-shot Jumpluff with a single Acrobatics. Ramos sends out Go-Goat next, and because I hit like a truck, I'm able to one-shot him as well with an acrobatics. Weepinbell comes in last, and since Weepinbell is more like Trash and Bell, I'm able to one-shot as that wins me my 4th gym badge. At this point, I have to deal with a ton of Team Flare before I can make it to Lumio City again. Once I take way too long defeating them, I talk to this skyscraper of a man, and I head into Lumio City where I get ready to challenge my 5th gym. Clement leads the battle with Emolga as I lead with Loops. Shockingly enough, Emolga is slower than Loops, so right away I go for a Poison Tail as it does about half as Emolga hits me for an Aerial Ace doing about the same. From here, I finish off Emolga with another Poison Tail as after this I get paralyzed by Static. Magneton comes in next, and because I'm assuming he's going to set up with Electric Terrain, I decide to go for a Bug Bite just to break the Sturdy. I end up being correct about this as after this happens I switch into Flakes. Flakes isn't affected by Thunderbolt, so I don't take any damage on the switch in, and on the next turn I go for a Bulldoze, finishing off Magneton. Clement sends in his final Pokemon Heliolisk, and for some reason he goes for a Quick Attack, which really does nothing, as I go for a single Bulldoze, finishing him off, winning me my 5th gym badge. My brother, you lost! Yeah, Bonnie, I don't really know why you're so shocked about that. His team was absolutely buns. Either way, after I destroy Clement in that battle, I make my way onto the next route, and I get ready for my rival battle. This battle actually ends up getting pretty close. I'm able to take out Miastic really easily with a Petal Dance, but right when Delphox comes out, it's an actual issue. She ends up bringing Chex all the way down to 20 HP before I can do anything. This forces me to switch into Crunch, and right when I do, I get brought down to 68 HP. On the next turn, I end up bringing Delphox down to a Sliver, but not before I get hit with another Mystical Fire, bringing me down to 5 HP. Thankfully, I'm able to take out Delphox in the turn after, and Absol goes down swiftly after, but I definitely could have lost that battle. Either way, after this battle, I gotta go to the quote-unquote scary house in which I gotta listen to this horrible scary story. The story wasn't scary, but honestly, the scariest thing about this place is that he actually requests for tips afterwards. Speaking of tips though, boy do I got one for you guys. Only 11.2% of my viewers are actually subscribed, so if you could please subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, and let's get on to the 6th gym. Valerie leads the battle with Mawile as I lead with Loops. Loops is actually probably one of my strongest Pokemon in the run, simply because I can set up Sword Stance and go for a Baton Pass and switch into any Pokemon I want while keeping my stat boosts. This is exactly what I do against Mawile as I set up 3 consecutive Sword Stances and I decide to Baton Pass into Flakes. Once Flakes is in, I go for 2 consecutive Power-Up Punches, finishing off Mawile, and next out comes Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime is obliterated by a Poison Jab, and with that, Sylveon's out last, and because I'm up 6 attack, I'm easily able to one-shot with another Poison Jab, as that wins me my 6th gym badge. With that, I've got to go to the Pokeball Factory and deal with more of Team Flare. After this, I get a Good Rod, and I catch myself my next Pokemon. After I catch Skrelp, I name it Pebbles. Pebbles is only really a distraction from what I gotta go deal with in the Frost Cavern, which is more of Team Flare. Thankfully, passing by them is a breeze, as after this, I gotta make my way to what could be my hardest gym in the run in Anastar City. Before the gym, I gotta deal with Serena. Thankfully, my team is able to get the better of her pretty easily in this battle, as Delphox goes down to a single dig, and that's really my only problem. I do get brought down pretty low with Nidoking, but that really doesn't matter, as I could just easily switch and finish off her final Pokemon, Jolteon. After the rival battle, I talk to some random guy outside the gym, and he tells me he's scared to challenge the gym because he's scared of losing. Because I don't want to be an absolute loser like that guy, I decide to challenge Olympia, and she leads the battle with Sigilyph as I lead with Loops. Because of previous fights with Olympia, I know that she likes to set up right away, so I decide to do the same thing as I set up 2 consecutive Sword Stances. Olympia does a little bit less setting up than anticipated, and she ends up hitting me really hard with a Psychic, so I have to actually risk a crit here. Thankfully, I don't end up getting crit, as on the next turn I'm able to take out Sigilyph with a Steamroller. Next up is Slowking, and because, he's slow, I decide to go for another Steamroller, and it's able to one-shot. With that, Olympia sends out her final Pokemon Miastic, and with the Reflect Up, I'm a little bit worried I won't one-shot, but since I am at +4 attack, I decide to go for a Steamroller, and that ends up one-shotting Miastic, winning me my 7th gym badge. With that gym badge, I'm finally able to progress in the story and deal with the remaining parts of Team Flare. First things first, I fight Lysander the first time, and he's an absolute joke at this point, and I go through all of Team Flare's secret hideout. The human skyscraper is held hostage here, but it doesn't really matter to me because I'm not really paying attention to the story, and I end up pressing the wrong button and lighting off some secret weapon. This secret weapon thoroughly destroys Geosenge Town, so I've got to go there and fix my mistakes, and I end up battling Lysander again. Before battling Lysander though, I've got to catch this legendary Pokemon, and I do so pretty swiftly. With that, Lysander leads with Menshao as I lead with Loops. Right away, I set up with a sword stance as Menchao hits me with an acrobatics, bringing me down to 58 HP. Because I'm faster and I don't want to risk losing loops, I decide to go for a baton pass and I switch into Flakes. Once Flakes goes in, I have to take some pretty big damage from an acrobatics, bringing me down to 102, and I then go for a power-up punch on the next turn just to raise my attack a little bit. With that, Menchao decides to go for a sword stance, so I'm easily able to finish her off with another power-up punch, as at this point I'm at +4 attack. Because I'm at +4 attack, when Pyro comes in, I go for another power-up punch, one-shotting in the process and bringing my attack to +5. When Honchar comes out, I could go for another power-up punch, but I'm a little bit worried to do so, so I just decide to go for a poison jab, finishing off Honchar in one shot. With that, Lysander sends out his final Pokemon, Mega Gyarados, and because I'm faster and at +5 attack, I decide to go for a poison jab, finishing off Gyarados and winning me my final battle against Team Flare. With Team Flare defeated, I move on to the next routes of the game where I have a couple rival battles. These battles aren't really difficult though, so I'm not even going to go over them, as after this, I find the gym leader and I get ready to challenge the final gym. Wolfric leads the battle with Abomasnow as I lead with Useless. I end up actually getting one-shotted by an Ice Beam, and gosh, that's such a bad thing that could happen. Totally didn't expect that, as after this, I switch into Loops and I actually start the battle here. With Loops, I set up a sword stance, and since Abomasnow doesn't hit me for much damage, I'm able to go for a poison jab, one-shotting in the process. Next out is Cryogonal, and since he's not faster than me, I'm able to one-shot him as well with a poison jab, as finally comes out Avalugg. Avalug's defense is amazingly high, so I feel like I've got to switch into Cheerio, and when I do, Cheerio gets finished off by a single avalanche, as after Cheerio goes down, I switch into Charms. With Charms, I go for a Sludge Bomb, doing almost half and poisoning, as Avalugg hits me with a single avalanche, bringing me down extremely low, almost one-shotting me. Thankfully, due to the poison damage, Avalugg is able to go down to another Sludge Bomb, and that wins me my final gym badge. With my final gym badge acquired, I head to Victory Road, and I get ready to challenge Serena in our final rival battle. I wish I could say this battle was hard, but it actually ends up going easier than most of ours do. I defeat her in every single aspect, and at this point, I'm pretty much ready for the Elite Four to run. I do one final thing before fighting the Elite Four, and that's catching myself a Drapion. I name Drapion Oats, and with that, I bring all my team up to the level cap, and I'm finally ready to challenge the Elite Four. Here we go! I'm ready to start this Elite Four run. I got Loops, Flakes, Crunch, Tricks, Pebbles, and Oats. They're all level 65, and I'm ready to get into this. I'm going to challenge the Elite Four this run. I'm actually so hyped, because it's been a minute since I've won an Elite Four run. The last two runs I recorded was No Fainting and Poison Only. Poison Only, I failed. No Fainting, I also failed. So, you know, it's been a minute. Cynthia and BDSP is just incredibly difficult. Either way, right now we're in X and Y, and I'm gonna start this battle off against Siebold with apparently my other Pokemon, because I forgot to switch it. Either way, I should be fine. I'm not really incredibly worried. I could set up a sword stance here, and I'm not really in any... Wow, of course, right away I get critical hit, whatever, it's cool. With the sword stance set up, I should be able to easily switch into Crunch, and I might be able to honestly sweep. It would be great if I could just literally sweep with Acrobatics, because I actually think I can. Maybe not. Maybe not. This guy's got Stone Edge, so that's kind of the only issue here. He's gonna go for the Stone Edge now. You know what? I'll just switch. I'll just switch into Roserade. Avoid it. It's cool. I'll set up a Growth. That kind of hurt. I'll go for a Giga Drain, just get all my HP back. All my HP is back. Starmie's coming out. Starmie is gonna go down to a one-shot from Giga Drain. Yeah, there goes Starmie easily. Gyarados is gonna come out last. Gyarados is gonna... I think Gyarados is probably gonna Dragon Dance. So I'm gonna go for a Giga Drain. Hopefully it does like half. There we go. That's a little bit more than half, which is really good for me because I think I can just go for one more. There it goes. Gyarados goes down. That wins me my first Elite Four battle. Easy, easy peasy right there. Okay, my next Elite Four battle is I'm gonna challenge Wikstrom. Wikstrom is good, but not good enough, I think. Either way, he leads the battle with Klefki, as I decide to lead with Loops. I'm gonna go for a Sword Stance right away. Klefki goes for Spikes. That's not gonna do much. I'm gonna go for another Sword Stance. I'll go for 2. In fact, I should just go for 3. Yeah, I'll just go for 3, because why not, honestly. There's 3. take basically no damage from that. I could probably one-shot Klefki over here. Baton Pass. Nice. Glad I got out of there before anything bad happened with that Torment. I'm going to switch into Flakes now. Flakes is probably going to one-shot Klefki. I can't see Flakes not one-shotting. There goes Klefki. One shot. Next out is Probopass. Probopass isn't a huge issue, so I'm going to go for an Earthquake right away. There's the Sturdy. The super effective is going to hurt a little bit, but not enough. I think I can easily just finish Probopass off with a couple more Earthquakes, because I don't think it's that big of a deal. Okay, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. Scizor is coming out next. Scizor has Bullet Punch, so probably going to do a little bit of damage with that before he goes down, but either way, it's a one-shot. Yeah, no, he didn't even decide to go for a Bullet Punch. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Aegislash comes out last, and Aegislash should just go down to a single Earthquake. I mean, no, but, I mean, yeah, I think so. Yeah, there goes Aegislash. Perfect. We got a one-shot sweep on every single one of Wikstrom's Pokemon. That wins me my second Elite Four battle. Malva's got Pyroar with Rivalry, so she's going to lead the battle with Pyroar, and I'm going to lead with Flakes. Flakes immediately is going to go for an Earthquake. It should one-shot, honestly. Yeah, there's a one-shot right there. Perfect. That's really good. That's exactly what I was hoping for. You know what? For this, I'm going to go for a Poison Jab first, and then I'm going to go for a Earthquake, just because I'm going to try and avoid the super... Yes, nice. I avoided the Hyper Potion by doing that. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Talonflame. Talonflame, I think, is quicker than me, but even if he is not, I think I just... Or even if she's not, I think I just one-shot with the Rock Slide, so I'm going to go for that. Took a lot of damage because of that, but I think I one-shot with Rock Slide. Yes, I do. Perfect. Chandeler's out last. Chandeler's definitely not faster than me and can't survive an Earthquake, so I'm just going to go for that. Easily take out Chandeler and win me my third Elite Four battle. This has been a breeze so far. A breeze. Alright. Final Elite Four battle coming up. Drasna and her Dragon types. These... it's going to be a little bit tricky. I honestly don't even feel like throwing Dry Algae in there, because Dry Algae... Her special defense might be pretty high, but it's not high enough to withstand, you know, all these Dragon types. She's just so incredibly slow. She might not even be faster than Druddigon. So I'm going to lead the battle with Loop. She leads with Dry Algae. I'm going to go for a Swords Dance right away. The Swords Dance should allow me to Baton Pass out later. Because that didn't do much damage, I think I'm safe to go for another one, so a crit shouldn't kill from Dragon Pulse. Yeah, I think I'm in perfect range to go for a Baton Pass right here. And since I'm up a ton of attack stats right now, I might as well go for a Crunch. Switch into Crunch. Crunch is faster than Noivern, so I can switch into him pretty safely here. And I can go for an Acrobatics, and I think that should just kill Dryalgae. Yeah, Dryalgae goes down easily. Next out is Noivern immediately. I didn't expect Noivern to come out so soon. Either way, should go for an Acrobatics. Might one-shot. There we go. Noivern goes down in one hit. I mean, this has just been a sweep so far. Altaria is out next, and Altaria should go down to a one-shot. There we go. Altaria's down. Druddigon's the final Pokemon, and just for a little bit of pizzazz, I'm going to go for a Cross Poison. Druddigon goes down, and that wins me my final Elite Four battle. So without further ado, here's my final battle against Champion Diantha. I'm very ready for this. She leads the battle with Hawlucha, as I lead with Loops. Right away, I'm going to go for a Swords Dance, set up for a little bit. Hawlucha goes for a Swords Dance as well, which is a little bit frightening, but... Ooh, I don't think I'm faster, am I? Nah, bro. I'm too scared. I'm too scared to stay in. I'm just going to... Wow, that did nothing. That did no damage to me. Good job, Hawlucha. Glad you could do something. What was that damage? I really wish I stayed in then, because that honestly didn't do anything. Okay, I'll switch into Oats. I switch into Oats and go for a Cross Poison, one-shotting Hawlucha in the process. Next out is Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum should go down to a single Earthquake, I think. Yeah, there goes Tyrantrum. Aurorus is the next Pokemon. Or not. Goodra comes out, and Goodra is actually pretty strong. A pretty powerful moveset, but I think if I go for an Earthquake here, it is going to do a lot. Yeah, it did. Didn't kill, though, sadly. Full Restore, Goodra Gudra's just gonna go down. That was a crit. Critical hit Earthquake takes Gudra down. Next out is Auroras. Auroras is gonna go down to a single Earthquake. Shouldn't be difficult right there. Gourgeist. Gourgeist is weak to Night Slash. That should kill. Yeah, there we go. We are on to the final Pokemon, Mega Gardevoir. This is incredibly scary. Mega Gardevoir has an insane moveset and has battle armor. Because I have battle armor, so Night Slash can't even crit here. I'm gonna go for a Cross Poison because that's super effective. And I've got to hope I'm faster. I think I am, but even if I am faster, I've got to hope for a one-shot as well. So, here we go. Come on, please. Let's go! There's the run, baby! Gosh, that feels so good. Haven't won in so long. That feels so good. Such a good run. Honestly, the carry for that entire run was Loops. The entire carry was Loops. Loops carried that entire run. Baton Pass, Swords Dance, that was it. That is what won me this run. I'm so happy about that. So happy. Wow, that was good. That was good. Thank you all for watching. And with that being said, that was my attempt at a Pokemon Y Hardcore Nuzlocke using only Poison-type Pokemon.